To the show. This is Hollywood, mate. Connelly with the double biceps. Oh, get the other one in there. Where is it? It's the wrong sleeve. There it is. Oh, it is in the contract, a legal requirement every single time we appear on camera, just making sure the lawyers are happy, the boxes have been ticked, and they have indeed seen two biceps. And I'm just setting up my screen here. I just wanted to bring up the high fives page, which I'm going to do here. There we go. Knuckles up. Number 4, it is going to be a massive event taking place on September the 14th at the Barrymore Film Centre. The Knuckles Up crew are great guys. They put on a fantastic production every single time, and this will be a big show. We've got a few of Australian competitors getting over there, including Ryan Bowen, who will be the main event, taking on Andrei Sharkovich. And Ryan's probably sitting as the underdog at this point in time, but he is the man that you don't want to underestimate, because every time you do, he turns up and seems to shock the world with his ability to perform way over and above what you would think he would. And we've got the Drew in here already. That says hello. Hello to the Drew. That should pop up there in a second. There we go. Let me see if I can make that bigger here. There we go. Yes, Knuckles Up. The Drew are going to be watching that event. It's going to be absolutely massive. We'll see Ryan taking on Andrei Sharkovich, the Shark, in the main event. And we've also got some familiar faces in Matawaringi Hannah Morris, all the way from New Zealand. Jason Malo is there as well. We got Mario Timbakis, another Australian who'll be competing on the card. A returning veteran in Marcio Barboza. That'll be absolutely fantastic to see him again, and Robbie Russell as well. And some of the one of the matches actually that I'm really looking forward to seeing. If I move my mouse on there, I wonder if you guys can see my mouse. No, probably not. But the guy in the top left, Craig Tullier, he will be taking on the guy in the top right, James Wall. Craig Tullier is from the USA, and he will be taking on James Wall from the UK, and that will be a very interesting match. I can't wait to see the outcome of that. James Wall has a lightning fast start, but it's a hook. It's a hook start, and he is very much an inside puller, but Craig Tullier is so incredibly strong, and his performance recently, he has looked stronger and stronger, and he continues to get better and better. He is on his absolute upwards elite trajectory at this point in time, and I can't wait to see how that plays out, because James Wall is no slouch. He is one of the top guys over in the UK, and so putting that together and having the battle across the pond, can't wait to see it. So very excited to see that. And yes, Jason Malo, who is in the bottom left, not Ryan Bowen, is the guy to the left of Ryan Bowen with the bandana there. He is a fantastic North American puller, and I believe he's number 1 in his weight class. And so it's incredible to see him performing on the card again. The most recent card they had at Knuckles Up, he was against Mario Timbakis from Australia, who you can see on the right-hand side of screen. There is a gentleman doing the peace sign, and Mario's face is right next to the peace sign. And Mario and Jason had an absolute war at the most recent Knuckles Up. I think Mario may have set the record for the most amount of elbow fouls in a row, and I think it was 6. I think he had 6 elbow fouls in a row. Unbelievable. Actually, I wonder if that match is up on YouTube anyway. I'll see if I can bring that up for you guys. But what an incredible win for Mario. Flying, he had to cut weight for that match, and so Jason is naturally. I can't remember what the weight class that they title that weight class, but it was I think it was around 95 kilos or 98 kilos or something like that, and Mario usually weighs about 110 to 115 kilos, so he had to do a significant weight cut to get down to that weight, but he did, and he turned up on the day and did a fantastic performance against Jason, although those elbow fouls were making me hold my head in my hands. It was like, Mario, what are you doing? And here it is. Okay, great. I'll see if I can bring that up for everybody to be able to see. Share that screen there so you guys can see what I'm looking at. There we go. And put it thing. There we go. Look at that production. I mean, look how great that looks. We've got, is that Judy from Poland as the referee there? Tall Paul is in the chat. Hello, Tall Paul. Oh, and the High Five themselves, they're also in here. I heard someone named Matt is also coming up to Knuckles Up 4. I'd love to go. It'd be absolutely phenomenal. It's just bloody expensive to get there. If I had the means, I would be there without a doubt. But I will be watching without a doubt. And yes, you guys put on a tremendous production, and every single athlete that I've spoken to that has competed with Knuckles Up has said it was the best experience that they've had out of anybody and any promotion. And I know when Ryan Bowen came back, he was like, man, we need to step up our game big time, because the Knuckles Up crew, they are next level. They're doing it way above where we are. So and the USS Liberty, never forget, he says, yo, this is so chill. It is. It's very relaxed. It's just me and you guys, and we're just going to talk arm wrestling right now. I was going to very quickly look through the match, which was Mario.
We love
that he was.
Marcio comes down.
That he was.
Okay.
Still in referee.
Distracting us, but yes, you can see the level of production that goes into the High Five, and what a tremendous job they do. Actually, I think the referees did a tremendous job as well. They seem to be very coordinated with each other, and they were very supportive of each other. They both sort of followed that same pathway with every call. And we're about to get started here. I think we get a slip. Yes, we do. And Jason's fired up. Look at that. He's yelling in Mario's face. Tall Paul says he would like to see me compete over in North America, commentating and pulling. I would love to go there. It would be phenomenal. I've been there one time on my honeymoon many years ago, 14 years ago. My wife will be like, if it's 15. No, I think it was 14 years ago. And we went to Las Vegas, which was tremendous, and then we went over to LA. But I wasn't arm wrestling back then. I was doing other things. Mainly bodybuilding stuff was what I've been doing for the last 23 years, and that's mainly was my main focus up until I found arm wrestling 5 years ago. So here we go with another. We get the strap. They're applying the strap. You never like to say that they're putting the strap on. I always try to catch myself out halfway through the sentence going, oh no, I'm leading towards saying strap on, and I try to avoid it. Sometimes I can't, but I try to say apply the strap, because it is one of those things when you say the strap on, everyone has that sexual connotation that comes with it. But it's there's a lot of that actually in arm wrestling. You've got the hooker, you got going inside, you're going deep inside with the hooker and the strap on. Neil Pickup is the best at coming up with those one-liners for arm wrestling. My favorite one was that Neil. Actually, I'll say it after this round is about to start here. Otherwise, I'll interrupt myself. But looks like they're about to get started. Wonder if I can slip it in before it gets started. That could be a that's what she said moment. Oh, they're still talking and jostling. Yes. Okay. So no, I'm gonna leave it. All right. I'll say it in a sec. Here we go. We got to start. A false start from Jason Mallow. Neil Pickup's favorite line was that Devin Larratt likes to take a shower with a strap on. You can't get anything better than that. So it was one of the funniest bits for me. And the USS Liberty says, 23 years of bodybuilding. Is that how you got the big biceps? Absolutely. 100% USS Liberty. So I found arm wrestling 5 years ago, and I've continued in the gym as well. And the Drew says, you should have hit me up. You should have known the future and hit me up back then. Or you've been in Vegas the whole time, have you, Drew? Well, I didn't realize that. But we're going to get another start here for Jason and Mario. And look at that, Mario Howard on the bicep here. Jason's hitting hard. He's changing to a higher post. Mario's driving hard sideways. And wow, look at the power from Mario to Marcus there. He did lose the start, was put onto his bicep straight away, but was able to contain Jason Mallow's hit. Jason, recognizing that Mario had the strength to contain his hit, and tried to push forwards to get more height and post higher with his arm. But Mario Marcus, too strong, pretty much just drove straight through that. So 1-0 for Mario Marcus there. But the Drew says that he's been in Vegas since 1989. Wow. Yeah, Vegas, what would it be like to live there? I know obviously everybody says that, everyone goes there as a tourist for the strip and, the hotel and the casinos, but what is it like being in the suburbs? Is that completely different? Do you guys hate the tourists? Do you sort of try to ignore that whole side of Las Vegas, or do you embrace it and do you enjoy that side of things? Or is it a completely different lifestyle living in the suburbs? I'd love to know. Tall Paul says there is a lot of sexual innuendos, and innuendo is the word I think you're looking for. Innuendo. And there's a great line from Scrubs, the TV show. I'd love to be in her endo, but that's not what we're talking about right now. He also says, I'd love to double her entendre when there was a double entendre. Great moments in that show. We're getting a slip again. We're going to the strap. I should just skip through that because that's probably what's going to happen every round, I think. As far as me competing over there, I'd love to. I'd love to go there and show everyone how not good I am. But I would have a lot of fun doing it. And Franch McGee is obviously listening in. She's writing in the Facebook chat group where you guys can't see it. She's secretly writing that you beat me to it on That's What She Said. There we go. All right, we're going to get a second start here. I'm going to skip through to it because the interesting part happens a little bit later past this. So the strap, Murray didn't like the strap. Let's get that strap retied. And again and again. All right, we're about to get the start here. Sort of. Oh, look at that. So Jason wins the start again. Mario sits on his bicep. He did catch it a little bit higher that time, but he elbow fouls with his drive. Dob me in, jerk. Yeah, well, why don't you write it in here, Franch? You don't have to secretly hide away your comments in the group chat there. It's a drastic change. Drew says there's a drastic change since 1989. There's more than 2 million who live in the entire valley. Wow, that's a lot. I don't like being around the center of town at all. 2 million. Yeah, that is an enormous figure. I was not expecting that. The entire population of Adelaide is just over 1 million. So, yeah, to have 2 million out there, that is significant. What was the lifestyle there compared to anywhere else that you've been to in the country? Is it significantly different, or you could just say it's very similar to the rest of North America? Tall Paul says, have you ever been to Zach Bagan's Haunted Museum, Drew? Well, and Merlot has been on a roll lately. Yes, well, this match, unfortunately, I think I did give away the result of it earlier, but if you didn't hear me, then I won't say it again. But he is definitely one of the top guys over in North America there for sure. And the Drew says, TP no, but Topor no, he hasn't been to the Zach Bagan's Haunted Museum, but I met him like 8 years ago, I think. Okay, I have no idea what that is. Tall Paul, you'll have to let us know what the Zach Bagan's Haunted Museum actually is, because I was expecting it to be a guy that was dead for many years, and then the Drew says that he's met him. So, not expecting to hear that, but all right, we're going to get another start here. We'll get to the start of this match, and hand's going to get closed. Sort of, maybe. Get the shoulders right first. Come on, here we go. And yep, close that one. Yes, we get the start. Waiting for the start. Oh, Jason's gone with a different strategy there. He's gone pure back pressure, but unfortunately he's got an elbow foul. Actually, I think it was Mario who elbow fouled there. This may be the start of his elbow foul extravaganza, but you can see the difference in what Jason has done from his first two rounds. First two rounds, he is winning the center. He does seem to be so explosive, and he is winning the center every single time. The first round, he won probably the first third before Mario was able to catch it on his bicep. And in the second round, he won probably the first quarter before Mario was able to time and counter it there. But in that one, that start there, you saw Jason didn't go sideways at all. He went straight back, which I don't think Mario was expecting, because it pulled his elbow straight off the front of the pad, and he got an elbow foul. And I'm not sure how many fouls they run with in... Okay, then looks like they do 3 fouls, and Mario currently is on 2 fouls. And we'll see what happens here. Okay, we get to the start again. And Mario's playing with his elbow right off the front of the pad again. Yes, it is. And this is the start of the plethora of elbow fouls from Mario Tambakis. And he wasn't happy with what Jason just did then. I'm just going to rewind that, actually, so you can see this. So you see Jason very fired up about having gotten the 3rd elbow foul, but have a look at this reaction. He rips the strap off, and Mario's like, "Hey, hang on, like, don't go crazy. You have to be so aggressive." But there you go. So Mario losing that one on fouls, and this is the beginning of elbow fouls for Mario. It's all elbow fouls from here on. The Drew says it's a normal city with city things, suburbs, etc., but with much more you can do if you have money and want to get rid of it in a hurry. Yeah, I can imagine. Topol says the museum has a lot of haunted items like Dr. somebody's Ken, the serial killer. I can't spell his name either. That's fine. Fishing, hunting, 4-wheeling, and moonshine is about all we have in Tennessee. We did get a little casino in Bristol, though, a couple of years ago. Well, fishing, hunting, and 4-wheeling and moonshine doesn't sound like that bad of a time, to be honest. All right, so here we go with Mario, and Jason's not happy. He's walked away. Let's get to the actual... Are we going to go to strap? Okay, we'll skip through because there's a lot of nothing going on here. Oh, not going to the strap. It's referee's grip. All right. Yeah, another elbow foul for Mario Tambakis off the front of the pad. Mario, this is where I started getting like, come on, Mario, stop elbow fouling. And then he's elbow fouled off the back of the pad. Oh, Mario. Are you used to pulling on the 9-inch wow pads? This is, even the referee's like, well, he keeps elbow fouling. We're going to keep calling it. But Mario in dire straits here. He's 2 fouls. So this is, fifth foul in a row. This may be number 6. Jason's got his wrist. Mario's hitting hard, and it goes to a slip. But better work keeping his elbow down on the table. So they're going to get strapped together. Okay, instructions from the referee. They say, Mario, look how Mario's elbow is right on the edge of that pad there. You can tell he is flirting with danger. And Jason cleverly recognizing that. And that's why you're seeing those big back pressure hits from Jason. He is pulling Mario off the front of the pad every round. And Mario needs to make that adjustment. He's got to keep his elbow on the pad. And you see the referee's pushing him back. Mario, keep your elbow on the pad. And I'm yelling at the TV at this point, don't bloody elbow foul. Because it felt like he was the stronger man. He just was getting fouled out of existence here. So this is the 5th foul in a row. He may be going for number 6 here. He's not happy about the strap positioning. No, it's fine. Just do it. Okay. Let's skip through. We're getting the thumbs up from the down ref. Close the hands. Bad time to change camera angle. So Mario is trying to play it safe. Oh, a bit of an elbow foul from Jason there. It's a running foul. Okay, good. They did recognize that. And there you go. Mario's pulled it back. What are they saying here? It's a win. Okay, great. So he managed to keep his elbow down. Jason didn't on that one. A lot of elbow fouls going on there, but I did like that they went with the running foul, which means that you see elbows off the back of the pad for Jason there. I do love the fact that they have running fouls, which means that they don't stop everything and restart it all. Tall Paul says, knuckles up. do have the best looking refs, though. You think athletes listen to women's refs more than men's refs? Potentially, that could be a good point, a good talking point, because you're probably less likely to see people yelling and screaming at a female ref, and if they do, it's going to look a lot worse if they do. Here we go. We've got it's at the start. That was a pin. I was too busy talking about the way the referees looked, but it was a flash pin from Mario. I'm going to skip back because I actually missed it. All right, what are we doing? Where we go? There we go. All right, look at this speed here from Mario, and was it a flop press? He can lose his hand and still press through. He's very proud of himself there. It was a win. Jason's not happy, but I think it was a legitimate win. I don't think there's too much to complain about there. Oh, we got the replay. Fantastic. Don't use that overhead camera. Go to the side. This is why I don't like this camera angle. I think it's only good for the setup, and then anything to do with the match, it doesn't help. So, yeah, this is the replay. So, Jason not happy with something or another. And Mario was going to press from, you could tell he had his shoulder in position ready to go. And there it is. It was a flop press. Oh, okay. I think Jason's saying his hand didn't touch. I'm not sure if they had the ability for the athletes to call a challenge on the call and do a replay. But I think that what do you think, guys? Let me have a look at this again. I don't think Jason's hand touched. Oh, that's hard to pick up, actually. Let me see if we can get the timing of this. And so Mario's hand definitely touched. Jason's hand is not touching there. Oh, that might not have touched. But they've called the win. Oh, yeah, I didn't see that the first time that I watched this. If I was Jason, I would be challenging the call if they have the ability to challenge. But I'm not sure if they ran with that rule set there. At AWE, we have to give the athletes 2 challenges, and if they are correct on their call, they retain the challenges. If they are incorrect, what are they doing? They're restarting it. Okay. Looks like they did review that call, and they agreed that Jason's hand did not touch, which is fantastic. There you go. That's good refereeing and good officiating, that you could admit your mistakes and move forwards rather than saying, no, too bad, that's the call that I made. Very happy with that. I think that's an excellent call to make. And we're going to get a replay here. I wonder if Mario is going to flop press again. Franch McGee says, tell them they're useless in the heat of the modem, and then later they tell them they did well. That's all right. Now, Mario was successful with that flop press pin. Is he going to do it again? I don't know if you pull the same trick out twice in a row, but his shoulder is looking like it's in a position where he's going to press. More than likely going to slip. I haven't seen this one for quite a while, so I don't remember exactly what happens. He's gone with the flop press again, and it was very close, but they have gone to the strap. There we go. Tall Paul says, I just never needed one. Drew, I had to use my sister's for, this is talking about he's needing a computer. Tall Paul, you don't need a smartphone either. Luca, hello to you, Luca. It's always good to see you in the chat. If there was any doubt about the legitimacy of the win, you know it's good to go with Judy as the ref. Yes, Judy from Poland is definitely one of the best referees going around. I don't need one for sure, but this phone I got is a little bit smart. It's a little bit smart. That's great. Maybe they saw Mario's bottom of his wrist by mistake. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, as a referee, when you've said go, and if somebody hits like a flash pin that you weren't really expecting them to hit, and they've hit the pad before you can actually get your head down to look at the height of the pin pads, it's like good luck making a proper call. It's try to get your body and head down to eye level fast enough. And look at that. There we go. Mario's gone with that flop press again. He got very close to hitting it on that. Now he's in a bad position because he's lost his wrist. He's holding with his bicep, but he's driving sideways. Elbows popped up. He's going to have to get a pin to get a restart. And that's exactly what has happened. It is a pin, but it's going to have to be a restart, I think, because he had a running elbow foul. But he's okay with that, and why not? And that's the thing with these longer matches. Oh, no, they did give it a win. Okay, I thought there was going to be a call for a elbow foul popping up halfway through that, but obviously not. And let's see if we can see it, because I reckon Mario's elbow popped up a little bit when he started jostling forwards. Let's have a look very closely here at Mario's elbow. Oh, it's close, but definitely not an obvious elbow foul. So I would be happy for them to not call that and give Mario the win there. Well done to Mario. To Marcus up 3-1. I'm not sure if it was. Oh, it is a win. Okay, so it was first to 3, and that was the way that Mario went through and got the victory. Well done. Can Rickard beat Marius? Mario. Rickard and Mario, they had a fantastic match. It was Rickard's first super match ever, and it was at AWE 2 here in Adelaide, Australia. And Mario ended up getting the victory over Rickard, but they have had matches against each other since in tournaments, and I believe it's sort of back and forth, and I think Mario's won one and Rickard's won one. And so at this point in time, I'd love to see them go against each other again, because both of them are obviously continuously leveling up. But based on what Rickard did in the Grand Prix, I would probably put Rickard as the favourite. But Mario is definitely not not somebody to count out. And there he is with, I think he was with Jake Ward a second ago. And he gets a guitar from Will there. I think everyone got a guitar, which is an interesting price. But why not? What if he still got it? Funny if he couldn't play. I don't think many of the arm wrestlers would be able to play. But knuckles up. That's how good their channel and their production and show and everything is, and that's how the level you can expect to see on September the 14th with a whole bunch of amazing matches. Let me catch up on the comments here because I'm falling behind. Luca says, if there was any doubt, it's Judy. Yes, Judy for Poland. That's right. This phone's a little bit smart. They might have seen Mario's bottom of his wrist. Yeah, absolutely. I've heard a female detours male refs from arguing. Oh, deters, I think is the word that you want there, not detours. Deters male refs from arguing back. Okay. Male pullets. Oh, there you go. Yes, you are correct. There's a few corrections in there. You have to proofread your things. What have we got? Boxing glove plus phone equals sleeping. Or maybe you're struggling with the technology side of it, is what Tall Paul is saying. And AWE Underground, you can watch it on the channel there. Absolutely. I might bring that up in a second. Knuckles Up is awesome. It is awesome. They are doing tremendous stuff, and we like to support both those guys there. And Lucky is in the chat. Hey to Lucky. He runs the Lucky Ones podcast every Saturday night in the USA. It would be Sunday morning for Australia, and she likes to highlight females in arm wrestling and doing a tremendous job of that. And we love to see everything that you guys are doing to promote the sport, and not only the sport, but for females as well. See, my phone is only a little bit smart. Mario, yeah, there we go. Sweden Arm Wrestling Television, top of the morning to all you legends. Hello to you too. Sweden Arm Wrestling. If it's the morning there, it is not the morning here. It is 2:17 p.m. here in Adelaide on Thursday. I had to think then what the day was, but it must be the morning over there for you. And Mr. Luca, Miss Lucky, yes, there's that Mr. Sweden. Some messages not showing up for Matt. I don't think so. I think I'm just sort of skipping past ones that I think that I've said, but everything should come up on the screen there. That all the chat overlay, and appreciate you too, says Lucky. Well, I love the fact that you guys are doing such a good job, and we'll try to support every style of arm wrestling that's out there, whether it's a podcast or it's a YouTube channel or it's a promotion or an event. And you guys are doing a fantastic job with the podcast there. And one of our SA Titans arm wrestling members, Franch McGee, was actually a guest on your show a few weeks back. And listened to that show in depth. It was a very, very quality interview with some deep topics discussed, and especially the last 30 minutes was very intense. So yes, a very good show. If you haven't heard that one, Franch McGee, FARNCH, Franch McGee is the guest that was on the Lucky Ones podcast. Definitely that last 30 minutes, go have a listen to that. It was very, very, very interesting. And the Drew says, Kriggy, which I don't know what that means. If you know what that means, let me know, because I don't. Let's see if we can find. I'd love to show you the Mario and Rickard Bornman. I always like to say Rickard's name because it allows me to sound South African for a second. Rickard. And the instruction on how to pronounce his name was given to me by one of our other SA Titans members, Grant Law, who is from South Africa. And he said, if your voice doesn't sound like you're trying to start a lawnmower, then you're not doing it right. So here we go. We've got the match here, and I'm going to bring it up on the screen for everybody. Make it big. Make that big. We'll make that big. Come here. What are you doing here? Hey, AWE, what's going on? Why is my ability to... Oh, that's strange. Refresh. There we go. That's better. All right. And we'll get to the match because we know who both guys are. There we go. And... we catch up on this again. Sweden Arm Wrestling TV. What's your thoughts on Iena and Ursula being cancelled on Knuckles Up? I think it's incredibly disappointing. I think it's very frustrating, and it's not something that we want to see happen in the sport. I think that promotions should be doing everything they can to try to support each other, especially at this level of the sport, and the growth will only increase and only get better if everyone works together, and working against each other at this particular time is only going to be detrimental. And so when somebody gets a big opportunity and they are not allowed to take it up, that is very frustrating. Not happy about that at all, as many people are not happy about it either. There was a moment just then that I wanted to highlight because it was on that slip. Where is it? All right, have a look at Rickard's arm here. I don't think it moves an inch on this slip. Oh, they haven't got to the slip yet. Okay, sorry, I was... when they get to... They do slip. I've watched this a couple of times, but when they get to it, I don't think Rickard's arm moves an inch, and Mario sort of peels away from him when they get to the start. Tim Graham, the referee there, getting everything fairly started. Rickard starting way early. SATV, his name. That doesn't help me, Drew. And SATV. Okay, that's Sweden Arm Wrestling Television. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, SATV. Very nice. And my real name is Christian Viklund. Nice to meet you, Christian, if that's your real name too. There you go. Yes, thank you, Drew, for putting up the link for the Lucky Ones podcast. Oh, there it is. That was the moment there. So have a look at that. So we'll get that start again. Look at Rickard's arm. Doesn't move an inch. It's Mario's arm that peels away. And when I saw that happen, I was like, wow. The strength of this young man. So at this point in time, Rickard was probably 4 months in, 5 months into arm wrestling. And he's going against Mario Tambakis, who is an absolute veteran of Australian arm wrestling and has competed and done phenomenally well overseas. So it was a very big ask to take on Mario Tambakis, but we thought, well, if Rickard's up to the task, then this is probably the best opportunity. We'll throw you in at the deep end and see how everything goes. And he gets the hat turned around. I don't know why. I don't know why Tim had to have his hat turned around there. Maybe he just wanted to create some over-the-top vibes, but it could have been that his head was getting a little bit too close to Mario's with the hat. And I have seen people headbutt each other accidentally, both going for a press before, which was quite amusing. It wasn't amusing at the time, but later I did laugh about it, and both guys did as well. Both guys diving in for the press and headbutted each other. Oh, it was great. Topol says that, actually, should we say that after this round starts? Yeah, probably. Okay, we got so Mario Tambakis and Rickard Bornman. Rickard is on one foul. He's gone in for a press. He liked the fact that he was in for that press. Mario's driven him out of that spot, but he stopped pulling for some reason or another. I don't know why, but you never stop pulling unless the referee tells you to. So Rickard jumping in for a press position, Mario pulling him out of the press position. Oh, yeah, I think he thought it was a pin, but it wasn't called by the referee, Tim Graham. And he said, keep going. And Rickard has a tremendously strong bicep. Oh, look at the elbow foul on Mario there anyway. Is that a pin? What's going on here? I think we went to a replay there to see what was actually happening and what the official call was. And that's what we're doing right now. It's probably, you can see me in the top of the cage there. I had the video monitor in front of me and was reviewing the call. Sarah seems like she was mad in the arm wrestling buzz chat. Yes, I could sense her frustration. I think there was a lot of people in the industry, in the arm wrestling world, that are very frustrated. And you, as fans, you should be frustrated because you've been robbed of seeing a very good match. And basically for silly reasons, not for an injury reason, not for an emergency reason, but just for a reason of another organization saying, nah, she's not allowed to do that. But they waited until the very last minute. And so the frustrating side of it is that all the promotion and the money and time that has been spent to set up that match and the training that has gone into it and the thought and preparation by both athletes has now literally gone out the window because of another organization stepping in the last minute and saying, nah, we don't want you to do on that. And as Will and Chris from Knuckles Up have said, that they don't run under WAF, they don't run under IFA. They are their own separate, complete thing, same as AWE, same as Arm Gods. So it is frustrating that people would want to be in a position where they restrict others from having an opportunity, and that is never something that we want to see happen. But so they did give Rickard the win on review there, and that's the thing. If you are Mario Tambakis, don't ever stop pulling. Even if you think you've got the pin, wait for the official call, because if you let up that pressure, the opponent's going to drive all the way through and drive you back into the pad. So, yes, seeing a lot of my private messages and chats are popping up on a window that you guys can't see, but there is a lot of chatter about frustration with the cancellation of that match. And yes, a lot of people are not happy about it at all. But Mario Tambakis with a high top roll, too strong for Rickard Borman in that round there. You can see they close their hands. Yeah, just complete dominance for Mario there. Rickard dropping into a modified King's move, but sort of a last minute thing, but he was not able to bring it back, and I don't see him as that's not his usual thing. I think he normally he's normally an inside puller, so yeah, dropping into a King's move at that last minute you can see there, Mario getting the hand and wrist dominance straight off the bat, driving through, Rickard dropping to a king's move, and it wasn't, it's not his ace. So, but this was, I think, 4 months in for Rickard Bornman. So he was still new to the sport, and we decided to give him a very big challenge. He is doing quite well. I mean, it is 1-1 at this point in time. And his opponent, Mario Tambakis, is no slouch. He is a very, very good puller. And Tall Paul says that Rickard looks huge there. He does, and he's gotten even bigger since then as well. I think he was only 18 at this point. I think he's 19 now. So, yeah, he's a young man. 120 kilos. What is that in pounds? Let me do the math calculation here for the Americans. 2.2, 264 pounds at 19 years old. So he is a very, very big young man and comes from a rugby background. He was in Australia to play rugby professionally, got injured. I think it's his ankle or something to do with his leg, which has restricted his ability to be able to play rugby, but he decided to trot along down to the arm wrestling club, which is the King Pins Arm Wrestling Club in Brisbane, which houses some of the best arm wrestlers in the country, including Ryan Bowen and Lachlan Adair, Marcus Atirai, and he was holding his own on his very first time arm wrestling. So outrageous. And there's a great video on Ryan's channel of Rickard being there and everyone just being sort of shocked at how strong this young man is. But with added technique, he has improved his game even more. And so here you're seeing a very raw version of Rickard Bornman. It's mostly all power, and he has developed a very, very nice inside game, whereas I think at this point in time he was still trying to figure out what he wanted to do. But you can see right there again, this is another good example of don't argue with the referee. If you don't pull, the referee will call the win. Don't ever stop. What did they do? Did they give that a win or not? No, okay. But it's another good example because that could have gone against Mario there. So they are going to the strap. But yes, Torpal says, I would love to see Rickard versus Brian Shaw. Wow. Jeez, that's a big match. Brian Shaw is got that question mark about him at this point in time, doesn't he? He's the X factor. I mean, the world's strongest man. He's an absolute giant of a man. I don't know how much he weighs. It's probably like 180 kilos or something. What is that? 180 times? I have to do the conversion every time for you guys. 400 pounds. He's probably around that. Monster of a man, almost like a bear. You can imagine Brian Shaw. And he has decided to jump into arm wrestling, which is phenomenal for arm wrestling because we get somebody of that caliber who is coming from a strength background. And obviously he's a huge, huge man. And he just decided that arm wrestling is the thing he would like to try. So we're getting a close on this. I'm just going to call this round here. Not getting a close. No, we're getting a foul for Rickard for starting early. I think he was pressuring up in the referee's grip. Cannot move in the referee's grip. I think Rickard's struggling a little bit with the timing of Tim Graham's setup. And what we usually like to do is make sure that thumbs are closed, hands are closed. Then you'll get a pause for a second. Then we'll say go. But I think Rickard is expecting it to be a go instantly as soon as the hands are closed. As you can see right there, I think that was Mario that time. That's what I had to explain to a couple of the guys at one of our tournaments, a T-Series tournaments, that there is going to be a pause after I have closed. I'll close your thumbs, close your hands, and then there will be a pause. Then I will say go. He's jumped in for the press and driven through. Mario Tambakis too strong. Rickard's press not quite developed at this point in time. As we said, 4 months into the sport, he's got his shoulder behind. He's looking good, but Mario Tambakis too strong. He's driven back and he's got the pin there. So well done to Mario to be able to drive through that. And Rickard for trying something different. He has sort of tried playing around with swapping back and forth between top rolling and pressing. I bet they waited to the last minute on purpose. Yeah. I mean, you'd hope that they wouldn't, but maybe they weren't aware of it until that happened. But really, it shouldn't have happened either way, whether or not they were trying to cause the most problems that they could, or the most frustration to the promoter. But it is definitely not something we like to see in arm wrestling. Is people getting their hard work and all their efforts taken away from them because of a very, very silly reason and a poor reason in that another promotion has just said, if you compete with them, you won't be able to compete with us. And I just think that's outrageous. My response to that would be like, well, I'm not competing with you anymore. See you later. But for some athletes, they're not in that position where there's certain promotions that have financial benefits, and they have the big platforms that other promotions may not have, and they don't want to cancel themselves out from being able to be a part of that. I think you'll see less and less of that as the sport grows, and but yes, we are seeing a lot of collaboration between promotions, and so for ourselves with Arm Gods, we love working with those guys, and Paul Maiden and Marcus Thompson are two legendary people over there, and we're definitely going to be doing things together and try to support them as much as we can. Same with the Knuckles Up crew. They are doing amazing things there, and we try to support them as much as we can. And anybody who's out there that is doing anything with arm wrestling, we are trying to get behind them and give them a boost and a big push towards that mainstream acceptance. And that's exactly why you see people like Brian Shaw wanting to get involved in arm wrestling. Wow, great start there for Mario Marcus. Too strong. He's driven through. It's the same thing as, I think, the second round. So, yeah, Rickard dropping into that King's move, which is not really his sort of... don't usually see him doing that. I think he was just desperation at that point. But he's losing the center to Mario. The technique and the wrist strength of Mario Marcus able to get him through. So... Tall Paul says, oh, wow, I'll try to find that video of Rickard's first day. It is, I can bring it up on here for you. Wait for this match to finish, and we'll have a very brief look. It's only a very short video, but it is quite an interesting moment. Brian was 460 pounds at one time. He's down to 380 pounds after strongman retirement. Last I heard, 460 pounds. That is absolutely insane. 460 divided by, 460. No, calculator. That's not what I said. 460 divided by 2.2. 210 kilos. That is a bear. He is a monster of a man. 210 kilos. Wow. And he's very tall as well. I know he's like 6'8" or something. So there's no wonder why he was world's strongest man. And I love how he's down to he's only 380 now. Dropped way down. You wouldn't even recognize him. He has to jump around in the shower to get wet these days. He's that skinny. He's going to get blown away in the wind. 380. 172 kilos. So he's 72 kilos more than I weigh. I'm 100 kilos, which is, I think, 220 pounds. And going to the straps again for Rickard Bornman and Mario Marcus. Mario up 3-1 in this AWE 2 event. We were very proud of this event. It was at the Adelaide Oval, which is a phenomenal venue and has a rich history with, I know you guys are not into cricket, but it is one of the icons of the cricketing world. Every summer, they would go through Australia, and the Adelaide Oval was definitely a highlight of the tour. But we're going to get the start here, and just a little bit of jostling around to get everything in place. Tim Graham moving their hands to the other position. He's closed Rickard's hand. Got to make sure you can see both competitors' thumb knuckles. He's going to turn the carving there. There we go. And same deal. Mario has found his lane, and that is the top roll with side pressure and Rickard unable to combat that. Even going inside, he was not able to stop it, and trying to match it with his own top roll, he was unable to overcome the strength of Mario Timbakis there. But you can see the ability that Mario has to find the right lane. He was playing around with a few different things, and once he got there, he was able to roll through and get the victory. So I will find that footage of what have we got? Rickard Bornman's records. Oh, spelling it wrong. Rickard Bornman. Arm wrestling. Yeah, it's probably going to be in this list here. We'll find it. And where is it? The first night of training, because it's quite an interesting little video. If we could just find it here. That was a good interview. That's the interview where he said, I've always been jacked. I think this is it here. Maybe this is getting close to it, but I don't think that's the exact one. It's probably pretty. This might be it, actually. So you can see Ryan Bowen there with the beard and the shaved head, a little bit different to it's almost opposite of what he's got at the moment. He's got a shaved face and hair's a bit longer. But yeah, this was one of his first nights. I love the fact that Ryan's pulling in thongs. But have a look at the strength of Rickard there. This was either his first night or it was very close to his first night. So you can see the title is 19-year-old Rickard Bornman. He's phenomenal. And how many years had Mario been pulling up? Well, I think Mario's about 26 or 27 years old, I think. And he's probably been in the sport for 7 years, something like that. I might be a little bit off, but definitely a lot longer than Rickard had been at that point in time. And Levan here says, I'm trying to have a look at that. Have a look at that nickname. Levan been ducking Bowen for half a decade. He absolutely has. That is the man, the match to make. New Year's Eve, Las Vegas. No, we could do Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden, New Year's Eve. We'll have Ryan Bowen versus Levan Saganashvili. And we'll have Nickelback is going to play. And Michael Jackson is coming back. He's going to do the halftime show. Kyle Davison, he's popped in. Hello to you, Kyle. Mario is looking strong as hell. He is indeed. And that was from quite a while ago. But yes, the first one that I played was his most recent big win, which was against Jason Malo, who is a phenomenal puller in North America and number one in his weight class. So Saganashvili, yes, that's the one. Saganashvili, yeah. Hey, that's not an easy name to say. But a lot of the times we get these cards that come up and it says, you've got this match, this guy versus this guy, and I look at the name and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to practice that one. The name is like 26 letters long, and there's like Z's, C's, Q's, UK's. So it's like, you're gonna have to tell me how to say that one. It's like Matawaringi Hadamoris. I mean, that took a bloody long time, especially the fact that I had to commentate his matches. So it was like we had him send us a voice clip of him saying how to say it, and that made it harder because we couldn't say it how he was saying it. It's just because if he's saying it with his accent, and we can't do his accent, so it was like we're just gonna have to get as close as we can. Madawaringi Hadawaris. So yes, Levan Slayer 69. There we go. Second actually. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Classic Xbox 360 gamer tag format. Yeah, that's right. You've got all the X's in there and the capitalizations. You know you're an elite Call of Duty player when you've got half of your letters spelt with capitalizations. Oh, and there you go. Kyle had the exact same thought a few seconds later. Perfect Call of Duty handle there. So everyone knows I'm a pro gamer. Look out. look out, we've got a pro gamer in the chat. He's probably gaming at the same time as watching this. That's great. So yes, you can see here, I mean, Ryan running through some technique with Rickard. And yeah, I think this is either his first night or it's very shortly after. It might be a week or two afterwards. But there's some funny moments in... there's a longer video that has him with Lachlan Adair, and Lachlan says to the camera, he's like, how old is he? And he's like, he's 19. It's like, 19 years old and he's that strong? He's like, yeah, go back to South Africa. We don't want him here. He's going to be number one very shortly. So, but the great thing is that Lachlan has embraced having somebody like Rickard and to be able to train with. And he said, this is fantastic for me because I can now train with somebody who's pushing me to that next level. Where if you're the strongest guy, if you're number one in the country, and you're able to handle everybody else in the training room. And I know Ryan has really pushed him as well, but you would still say that Lachlan would be the favorite in a match. But iron sharpens iron, and when you've got somebody that's as strong as Rickard Bornman coming into your club, it's like, wow, please stay here. Please don't go back to rugby. Please don't do anything else. We want you to stay, and it will help us get better. And that is one of the key points and elements in improving, is that always try to get on with people that are stronger than you, because it will allow you to improve and allow you to get better at a faster rate. And Couch Apple is here. I haven't seen you for a while, Couch Apple. Good to see you, sir. It's probably because we're streaming at different times. We usually do earlier with the Arm Wrestling Buzz show for the US audience, but this is obviously my own channel, which is in Australia, and so we've hit the afternoon. I'm not sure what time it is all around the rest of the world, but I think the US audience is probably fairly late where they are. And there was a gym session there. Strength check with Rickard Bornman. We had let's watch this. Let's watch me doing this right now. That's great. That's recommended my own channel, my own stream that I'm doing at the moment. That's great. Is that like a third wall breaking point? I don't know, that's weird. There we go. And Levan Slayer says that I've never understood the phrase iron sharpens iron. Well, the point of that would be that if you want to craft a weapon, then you would need a very solid, and you only had, this is like a medieval term kind of thing, but crafting a weapon, you'd need something incredibly solid to be able to manipulate the item. And so if you've got two people that have phenomenal skills, they're going to help make each other improve a lot faster. But one of the sayings that makes no sense is believe you me, which I've been saying for years. And it wasn't until recently that, because Michael Bisping, who is from the UFC, he runs a podcast called Believe You Me, the Believe You Me podcast. And they pointed that out. It's like, that makes no sense whatsoever, that believe you me. It's like you're trying to say, I should believe you. Or this is real, so believe that it's real, but believe you me. It's like, that doesn't make any sense, but I love it. And it's one of those things that no one really questions. You could quite happily say that. Levan Slayer says that he's also super autistic. Well, maybe that's why you're a professional gamer. You have translated your skills into gaming, and you have the ability that other people don't. What else we got? I keep skipping past comments, and then they disappear, because on my screen it goes down for the comments, and then on this side it goes up, and I'm sort of watching both, and they're going the opposite direction, and I forget which way I've missed it. Rickard Here we go. Kyle says, Rickard has for sure changed the game. Makes me want to eat my prayers and say my vitamins. That's right. Rip your shirt off and become Hulk Hogan. Put your hand to your ear and make sure that he gets the full Hollywood Hulk Hogan treatment. Although that was in the later years, wasn't it? The Hollywood Hulk Hogan era with the, what was it? The New World Order, NWO, the New World Order. I know Kyle is a very big wrestling fan, and yes, I was a big wrestling fan. Haven't watched for many years, though, since I found UFC, and then now it's arm wrestling. Count Chapel says, mighty generous of Bowen to sacrifice himself like that, being possibly still injured and having a match coming up. Well, he's definitely injured, that's for sure. And I think he's highlighted the injuries that he's had, that he's dealing with his shoulder. But he still believes that he can be competitive in this match, and why not? If he has the feeling that I can go out there and I can still perform, whether or not I'm injured or not, then that's credit to him. And yeah, that's what we're going to see at Knuckles Up on Knuckles Up 4 on the September the 14th. But he is going against a very, very top guy in Andrei Sharkovich, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Levant Slayer, don't you have to introduce carbon and a temper to the iron to then create an alloy strong enough to sharpen other irons? Well, the point of that saying, Levant Slayer, is to highlight the fact that when you have good people around you, you will also usually be good. And it's almost that point of you are the average result of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And so if you're hanging around very driven, successful, hardworking, disciplined people, then you're more than likely going to be the same. Whereas if you're hanging around people that have no drive, that are lazy, that are unwilling to put in the effort to get things done, that's who your 5 people are that you're always around, you're more than likely going to reflect those behaviors as well. So be very careful about who you choose to spend your time with. Rickard versus Orden for the win. That would be a great match. We have offered it to them in the past, but I don't think that it would be fair because Rickard is so much bigger and stronger and heavier and better. I like Orden. He's good. He's a very good arm wrestler, but yeah, I don't know. He's not on. I mean, Rickard's moving up to the super heavyweight level. Like he's a massive guy. At 19 years old, being 120 kilos, was at 265 pounds. When his wrist, like I have a like a muscular wrist, but his wrist is like another third bigger than mine. And I mean, we're the same height, so 6'3", and I'm 100 kilos. He's 120 kilos, and he's just a natural athlete, an incredibly strong man, and he's just going to continue to get bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. And so you're going to see some very big, exciting things for Rickard Bornemann coming up shortly. We have lots of exciting things for Rickard, lots of which we can't announce yet, but you will definitely be seeing a lot of him before the year is completed. So alloyed steel sharpens iron. You're getting into the nitty-gritty of his here. It's 10:17 in Las Vegas, says the Drew. That was an older video, Couch Apple. It's 1:17 here. Wow. Okay, there you go. Yes, I know him. He's a funny dude. Michael Bisping, I think is the one you've been talking about there. Dude, I've always been jacked. That's right. And that line made us laugh so much that because he said it so casually. It was in a podcast with Ryan, and it was sort of the first podcast that he had done, and he was a little bit nervous doing it. And the chat was going very smoothly, and Ryan is a great interviewer, and he was asking good questions, and Rickard was very calmly and answering the questions, effectively. And then it's such a opposite thing for his personality because he's so humble, he's so nice, he's so friendly. And he said it so relaxed, like, oh, I've always been jacked, ever since I was young. And it was so natural that he'd said it. But it made us laugh so much that became the new, like, anytime his name came up, it was always followed by, I've always been jacked. So I ended up making a t-shirt on that, which is at the AWE website. I'm going to bring that up so you guys can have a look. But I couldn't not make a t-shirt on this. Where are we? Bring that one up here and share that one. There we go. How's that look for the screen? Let's see if I can make it big. There you go. I've always been jacked. Richard Bournemouth, the t-shirt there. And so I did use AI to take an original photo of Rickard and make sort of a cartoon version, but the face was not, like, it just didn't look like him whatsoever. So I ended up sort of cutting out his face and then putting it in there, cartoonifying it, and then I painstakingly with Photoshop went through and seamlessly molded it into this image here so that it looked a lot more like him, but a cartoon version. So yeah, so that's the I've Always Been Jacked, the Bournemouth number 1, the AWE.
When did you start actually training to be strong?
Oh, let me put that sound on so you guys can hear that, because that's the funny moment. I put that on here, so just for that. But I think I have to reshare it so that you can hear. Just give me 1 sec, because otherwise you won't be able to hear the voice. All right, there we go.
When did you start actually training to be strong?
I would say grade 10. I really started, but all my life I was jacked, and I don't know. I think really
I love it.
Oh man, that always makes me laugh. Even now, it still makes me laugh. It's all my life I was jacked. It's so good. It's just after the NWO stuff was the Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Yes, that's right. I watched Bisping's podcast too. Yes, he's fantastic. Who was he doing it with? Wasn't a UFC commentator, but it was like a short, bald guy. I can't remember, but he's involved with the UFC production somehow. Yes, that's the one, says Kyle Couchapple. I just logged in and saw the news that Ayanya and Ursula's cancelled, which is originally scheduled for Knuckles Up 4. Yes, you are correct on that, and we've discussed that on the Arm Wrestling Buzz podcast, but it is a very big frustration because I'm not sure if you know the reason that it's been cancelled. The reason it's cancelled is that people from WAF have reached out to them and said they cannot compete on Knuckles Up. And if they do, they won't be able to compete with WAF again in the future, which is it's just very, very frustrating. You should analyze my first match that I had. Well, I thought you were a pro gamer. Now you're an arm wrestler. What is it with you, Levan? I was only watching it when it was still WWF. Wow, that's back in the 80s, because they've changed that a long time ago now. Mass moves mass is another great saying. It's not really a good saying because it's like a tongue twister. I'm going to catch up on the comments here. I've been laughing too much. Auden would have no chance. Maybe a year at least from now. Well, a year from now, Rickard's probably going to improve by another 30%, and he's just going to continue to get bigger and stronger, and he's going to have several big matches in that time, which will probably show you that the level that he is on. Night Paul, okay, so I think Paul might be heading off. Matt, what do you think for possible upset from all the matchup cards for Knuckles Up 4? I think the biggest upset that would happen would be Ryan Bowen winning over Andrei Sharkovich, as we said a second ago. Ryan coming into the match with an injury, and Andrei Sharkovich looking absolutely beastly. I would love to see Ryan get the win. Obviously, he's one of my good friends, and he is my business partner in AWE. And yes, he is the kind of guy you never want to count out. He's the sort of guy that everyone says, "Oh no, this is a foregone, full-blown conclusion as to how this match is going to happen." And if Ryan can prove everybody wrong, then that will be a lovely thing to be able to throw in everyone's face and say, "Well, you said I wasn't going to win, and here you go." Orton is a freak in real life. I met him at Orlando. I have no doubt that he is an absolutely phenomenal arm wrestler, and he's a nice guy as well. Wasn't happy with all the hate that he got after his most recent match with James English. It's one of those things you don't like to see people getting horrible messages sent to them. And Orton is still a young man, and he's still finding his feet in the world. And to get arm wrestling fans who say they're fans sending despicable messages to him is never something that should be encouraged. Van Slayer says, I mean the match I uploaded a few days ago. I just started arm wrestling. I had a match on Sunday. And if only Orton improved. I'm sure Orton will improve. I'm sure he will improve and continue to improve. I think that his improvements will not be as fast as Rickard's improvements. It's not Orton's fault that the refs blow, like for real. I think that one of the big differences that we've seen recently is that they've had the microphones on the competitors, which they don't usually do. Sometimes they would have the microphone on the table, but being able to now hear everything that the competitors are saying, you get a very clear depiction as to what they're complaining about or what they're not happy about, or what they're saying to their opponent, which is it's quite different and new. Whereas before, you could see maybe they were saying something, but you couldn't hear it. And so I think when people saw the James English match, it felt like to them like he was dictating a lot of the way that the match was being set up, and there was a lot of what you say, he's complaining. He's a lot of complaining, but he's within his rights to contest something that he's not happy with. But I think the fact that because people could hear everything that he was saying and everything James was saying, it made it of that moment where people were like, oh, is this guy seems to be complaining way more than anybody else does. And it's like, it's probably not. It's probably people complain that much all the time, but you just never really heard them on the microphone before. It's Alex. Wonder who it is. Did you make that stream name because I thought your name was Robert? I think people would appreciate Orton more if he adopted the humble beginnings mindset rather than already the champ mindset like his father. He needs to build cred from a place of humility. Yeah, it is one of those things. As I said, I mean, he's a young man. He's only 19, 18 years old. He's still finding his personality and his place in the world. And obviously when your father is the number one most recognized arm wrestler on the planet by a mile, over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and everybody that is involved in arm wrestling knows Devin Larratt, and then to be his son, when you're going to have a match, you're more than likely going to think that it's correct to follow the same formula or the same personality type or the same steps that is shown through what Devin does. But I think over time you'll see more of his personality. I do feel like he's still finding his I don't want to say personality again. I was trying to avoid saying that twice in a row, but his own path. I mean, the human brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25 years old. And so there's plenty of years to go before you could say, well, this is who I officially am. And I think you're going to see a lot of changes through his personality over the years. Not to say that what he's doing is incorrect. It's just that it was not responded to very well from fans. Levant Slayer says people will appreciate him once he gets a loss. I don't think he would want to take a match where he would get a loss. I think that what he's doing, as you said right here, he's trying to make money through his writing a brand. Absolutely. I think that's probably the reason that he is being very careful about the matches that he is taking, and having a match against somebody like James English, who I think it was his first ever arm wrestling match. And even though James is a very strong young man, and he worked very, very hard to get to the level where he could be competitive in that match, he is not an arm wrestler. He is a bodybuilder, and that is his primary focus. But he's added arm wrestling in recently, and we'll see if he, and I hope he does. I really hope that he does continue to do arm wrestling as well. And I was very, very happy that one of those rounds at least had a little bit of back and forth, and that James was able to get the win, because if it was 3 rounds of just Orton manipulating the setup and getting an instant pin off the start, I don't think James would say, this is the sport for me. I definitely loved that. I want to do it again. I think he would just be like, this is ridiculous. Like, I've trained months for this and put all this time and effort in, and I got just outworked in the setup, and somebody's just, you get flash pinned, and it's not a good feeling. You feel like you could have done absolutely nothing and got up there and got the exact same result. So, yes, I hope that he does stick with it. Franch McGee is back. I agree with Alex. He was very unlikable in his match. Yes, well, I think that he probably wasn't aware of the backlash that he was going to face, and it might have caught him by surprise. But we'll see on the next time that he comes out if he decides to say, well, I don't care about the opinions of the arm wrestling community or the people that are watching. I just want to win the match, and I've got to put myself in the best possible position to be able to win the match. So that may be his primary focus, and it's like, this is how I win. I get the best possible setup that I can. I drive through and I win the match, and that's all I care about. If I win, if I keep winning, you can't deny me that I'm a great arm wrestler. But I think they are being very careful about the matches that they take, and more than likely you'll continue to see him taking matches against people who have a very big social media presence. So we saw the Arm Wrestling Whisperer was the first one, and then we saw James English, and we're about to see the Korean Hulk, who he's not an arm wrestler either. So he's a bodybuilder. I mean, the point of taking those matches is for the mainstream audience that doesn't know or understand arm wrestling. And when you look at the two of them together and you say, well, this guy looks like the Hulk and this guy looks like a normal teenager, how in the hell is this skinny teenager dude going to be able to beat the Hulk? And then he'll show you how he's going to beat him. So that's more than likely, I think, the appeal that they're pushing for with their matches that they're choosing. So I wouldn't be surprised if he continues down that route, and I mean, that's where you get the most exposure. And Korean Hulk has a huge following. Same with James English. Same with the Arm Wrestling Whisperer. And more people are talking about Orton Larat than most arm wrestlers in the world that have way more legitimate credentials and trophies in their cabinet. It's Alex says, did you top up your supply of chocolate on Sunday at the club? I did. I think so. I've got a lot left, which is great because I eat them every now and then. But for me, I've got one here. I do. Here we go. These are the chocolates Alex brought into the club. A massive, massive box of chocolate. Huge, like almost a crate worth. And to give away, because otherwise he would eat them and get really fat. And so I've taken a huge amount, but for me, I can only eat like 1 or 2 at a time because they're so sweet, and then I can't eat anymore. So it's no chance of me getting fat off of it. Kyle Davison says, don't tell me you're bringing more. This week it's Alex. Well, he probably does have to because I don't think that box was emptied by the end of the night. Phil Woody is here. Phil Holly Woody from the UK says, morning, Matt. Morning to you, sir. Good to see you in here. I'm not sure what time it is in the UK, but I know that it's always difficult for you guys to catch the streams that are at a prime time for the US audience because it's like at 2 in the morning or something in the UK, but it's probably the opposite now. It's probably late enough. Actually, I'm going to look that up because it's so current UK time. What is it? It is 6:38 a.m. in the UK. Well, there you go. Kyle Davison says, you could Scrooge McDuck and swim in the chocolates. That's a good idea. I like that. Swim in the chocolates, but you probably wouldn't want to swim in them for too long because they'd start melting. Very good. And what was the other thing we were going to look at a second ago? I didn't know somebody had a match that wouldn't have been a look at. It's Levan Slayer, are you still in the chat? I will have a look at your match if you're still here. But if you're not, I'm not going to because you left before I got the opportunity to do it. And if there's any match that somebody wants me to have a look at or a quick review on, just let me know and I'll bring it up and we'll chat about it. It's Alex says, what are you looking forward to the most about commentating with Ryan in India? Well, I'm very excited about the entire event. Thank you for asking, Alex. It is the Pro Panja League event, which will be taking place in October in Mumbai in India. So last time we went over there, it was New Delhi. This time it will be Mumbai, which I believe is the capital, I think. So yeah, but the interesting aspect of what Pro Panja is doing is they have a massive level of production, way above what you could imagine for any other arm wrestling promotion that's out there. They are next level. They are like UFC level of production for arm wrestling, and it is incredible to see that. And they've got millions and millions of people that watch their events. So their main event. So the grand final of their last season got 32 million people watching, and that's less than what you would expect because that's 32 million television sets that were tuned to that channel. So it doesn't matter if there's 10 people in that family in that room watching, it just gets counted as one. So it's probably a lot more than 32 million people. So I'm just excited to be part of a huge promotion like Pro Panja and being able to see some incredible matches coming with the India's upcoming talent that is over there. So they have a fantastic league that they're putting on. I'm going to look up their website here for you so you can have a quick look. And so Brian will be doing the commentary one day, and then I'll be doing the commentary on the other day. And we're doing it with a Indian gentleman. So we'll be it'll be us one day, and then so me with this Indian gentleman one day, and then Ryan with the Indian guy the next day, and we'll back and forth all the way through this season. But it goes for over 3 weeks for us, so it should be a lot of fun. I'll share that tab and I'll swap to that so we can see it. There we go. Season 1 attracts a record 32 million unique viewers on national television. It is with Sony Sports Network. Absolutely incredible. And they are doing amazing things over in Pro Panja. Phil Woody says that I need my beauty sleep more these days. Hey, please be sure to check that travel visa date range. Congrats on the Pro Panja gig. Thank you, Phil. Yes, that is a good point. We got caught out last time when we were traveling to India because we didn't realize that the visa date is actually... so we said, this is how it works. We applied for a 30-day tourist visa, and being very proactive as we are, we said that we were going to be there in 3 months' time, and it's going to be whatever from this date to this date, and that's the days that we need covered with this 30-day visa. And we didn't realize is that they apply the visa from the date of application. So the visa had expired by 2 months by the time we had about to get on the plane before we realized. So that was not fun to be in a mad scramble trying to secure a visa last minute, and your plane is about to leave in 7 hours time, and yes, they ask you at the airport for your visa to be able to travel. And Ryan was leaving from Brisbane. He left before I did, and he sent a message, like, because we were like fingers crossed, Ryan can get through. And he sent a message, I'm on the plane. They didn't ask me for the visa. I'm like, oh, yes. Okay, great. Ryan's through. Now I've got to do the same thing. Like, so I had to go down to the Adelaide airport, and I had all sorts of issues like checking in. But yeah, I managed to distract the lady as she was reading the visa that I gave her. I didn't realize it was expired. Anyway, but yes, by the time we got there, we had an official visa. We had to reapply, but it just takes 2 days or something. But yeah, by the time we got there, it was all sorted. But that was very stressful, and being on a plane for 10 hours to go to Kuala Lumpur, to go on another plane for 10 hours, not knowing whether or not when you land in India that they'll let you through, was a very stressful time. But this time we'll know what to do. Alex says, do you sleep well on planes, or do you just stare at the back of someone's seat in front, not moving, eating, using the bathroom, or blinking for the entire journey? Yeah, that's usually what most people do. They sit as a complete statue and they don't move whatsoever. No, I don't do well on planes at all. I'm quite tall. I'm 6'3". It's cramped. If somebody in front tries to put their seat back, it's straight onto my knees. Then it crushes my legs. So I pretty much just hold their seat so they can't do that. Yeah, it is not fun. I can't sleep on the plane. I also get bloody travel sickness, which is not fun. I get motion sick, so I have to take travel sickness medication every time I get on. Which is, makes you drowsy, and then that makes everything more difficult. Anyway, it's not a lot of fun for me flying, that's for sure. And usually I'm spending the entire trip just hoping that I don't get sick. But every plane that I've been on, especially international ones, on the back of the seat now, they'll have the screen, and you can watch movies and TV shows and play games and all that sort of thing. So, but when you're doing like a 13-hour flight or something, it's like, well, how many movies can you watch? I mean, they're only like 2 hours long. So even if you watch 3 movies, it's like, well, that's 6 hours, but you've got 7 hours of flying to go. And you're like, oh, come on. Can't sleep in the plane. Yeah, it's not fun at all. But yeah, it is part of living at the very bottom of the world. We are in South Australia, which is literally south of South Australia, and I'm in the southern suburbs, so it couldn't be further away from everywhere in the world. And yeah, you want to go anywhere, you're going to have to get on a plane, and it's going to be a long trip. But I try to bring as many distracting things as I can. I usually will edit a lot of videos while I'm sitting there. Bin Laden, almost said Bin Laden. Bin Laden says, "What's my arm wrestling level? Are you ranked?" It's in the category of not good. I'm not terrible, but I'm definitely not an elite arm wrestler, that's for sure. And I wouldn't be in the top 30 in Australia. Yeah, I'm in the heavyweight division, which doesn't help me because I'm 100 kilos, and going against guys that can potentially weigh up to like whatever 200 kilos, and not that we have too many of those running around in Australia. But yes, I'm competent is probably what you would say, but I'm definitely not your elite level arm wrestler. I know, but the thing that is that I love the sport and I love getting on the table. Run the arm wrestling club here in Adelaide, this SA Titans arm wrestling club, and love teaching people how to get into the sport. And you'll see me running every single match that we have there. I referee that, run the AWE arm wrestling organization, which is Arm Wrestling Entertainment, which is an arm wrestling promotion. So heavily invested in the sport, but my level is proficient, but definitely not at the elite level. but I have a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, my best results would have been over in the UK. I competed in the amateur tournament that they had there, and I went 5 wins, 2 losses. So yeah, that's my best result. And in super matches, it's been, well, actually, I don't know what my record would be, but we try to have as many super matches as we can at the club. And yes, you see a lot of those on the SA Titans. Oh, actually, you see them on my channel, the Hollywood Matt Connelly YouTube channel. But I haven't had a match for quite a while, so I think I'm sort of sitting in a point with the club where the guys that are above me are well above me, and the guys that are beneath me are well beneath me. So I'm sort of in that limbo point where it's like, well, there's no point taking that match because I'm going to get beaten easily, or there's no point in me taking that match because I'm going to beat them easily. So yes, but it is fun. I absolutely love the sport, love getting around it. And every Sunday we have a big group of people that come along and join the arm wrestling club, the SA Titans arm wrestling club. We go out for dinner afterwards as well. And we then after that, after dinner, we'll go to another place and we'll have ice cream and we'll play card games and board games and everything until well into the late night of the evening. And that part of it is some of my favorite parts, is just hanging around with what I consider some of my best friends. And every Sunday we get together and enjoy that. So not only do we have the arm wrestling side of it, but we have a great group of people that we get to go and spend time together with afterwards as well. And it's great to see friendships being formed in the club. We have about 40 people that come in the club. They come along every week. There's probably about 40 people, maybe about 25 to 30 that come each week. And then out of those 40, it's lovely to see like different friendship groups start to get developed, and people hang around together outside of the arm wrestling training. But Franch says that it is so late that we play card games for. Absolutely. But it is a lot of fun and I enjoy it immensely. You enjoy it till about 11 p.m. and then you start like wanting to leave, and you can't leave because you need a lift from Ben. It's Alex says that he is the table hockey champion over here. Yes, you are at the moment, undefeated. I know. Believe me, I've been thinking about it. But there is layers and elements to the arm wrestling club, and Alex has found his little winning circle, and that is the table hockey, which has nothing to do with arm wrestling at all. But we'll bring up some of the videos from the arm wrestling club. We have such a great time there. So many awesome people. Where are we? Let's see my channel, because there's lots and lots of fun, exciting moments. It's me doing leg curls, but that's probably not something everyone wants to see. And let's see if we can get a really competitive match here that we had recently. Fun training session. Sorry, I'm just trying to find something that I think would be quite entertaining for everybody. That's not what I wanted to click on. This is the peak of live streaming here. You're watching me search for a video. Actually, I don't know if you can see it. Can you even see it? Oh, you can see it. Okay, great. All right. Trying to find something that I think would be... Well, this was... So we do demonstrations at gyms as well. So this was the most recent one that we did, was at Derrimut Gym at Noarlunga. And we try to introduce arm wrestling to as many people as we can. And Jasper is here. He says, hello, Big Matt, and hello to you, sir. He is one of the members of the club. And you can see here there's Kyle, who's in the chat, and that's French there on the table as well. So some of the people of the names that you're seeing popping up in the chat, these are who they are. And that's Alex. It's Alex. And that's me there as well. So, yeah, we try to do these gym demonstrations to get people interested in coming along to the club. And it is a lot of fun. And usually it doesn't go as well as it did this night. Usually it's me just standing there and trying to get people to come up to the table and them avoiding eye contact. But on this occasion, it was like nonstop. People just kept coming up to the table the entire time we were there. And I think we did 4 hours straight, whereas normally I would have packed it up after about 2 hours. So, yeah, we got a lot of people very, very interested in giving arm wrestling a go. And a lot more people knew about the sport and knew about Devon and wanting to get involved in arm wrestling, which is so good to see. This young man was there for probably 3 of that 4 hours just trying to pin me. It wasn't going to happen. And that's Stephen there. He was on my channel this week. And French is actually going to be on the channel tomorrow. I'm going to do an interview with her. And she has a very interesting story to tell. And she's looking to do big things in the sport of arm wrestling for females, for women. But that's sort of, this isn't our usual training session. This is a demo thing that we did at one of the local gyms, but it was a lot of fun and it was great to be able to get out there and sort of show this to as many people that are in the gym that maybe have never heard of it before and maybe they're looking for a new thing. And it was a fantastic moment. Trying to think of what was a very competitive match. I don't want to put something on where it's a 3-0. I'd love to put something on where it's an absolute war. And I think it's probably going to be me and Lass. I think we've had some crazy matches, but actually this was a bit of a highlight for me here. There has to be context put to this because hang on, just going to refresh that. These are some of the top pullers in Australian arm wrestling, and I did quite well on the after-pull table with them. But there is a reason I did quite well, and the reason is that they had been pulling for about 7 hours at that point, and I was pretty fresh. So I had to make sure I put that in the description and I put it on the video because I was like, I know there's no way I want this out there with people thinking that I'm at the level to beat these guys, you know. And I'm saying, how to look good with the pros. Wait till they've competed in the tournament. Wait till they've had several drinks. Wait till they've after pulled. Well, there we go. So Andy Boskovsky there, who is one of the top pullers from Melbourne, but I think his wrist was actually hurting, which made it better for me because I could, look like I was at some level strong. But yes, great to get on with these guys. And that's one of the things I love about the sport is that you can go up to somebody who is one of the top guys in the world and you can get on the table with them. And you're not going to win, obviously, but they're probably going to let you get a position or be very encouraging and supportive and try to give you technique advice. And, it's sort of like, what other sport is there that you could be like, hey, look, there's Devon Larratt over there. See if you can get on the table with him. And you probably can. What other sport where it's like, say you got boxing and it's like, okay, there's who's one of the top guys? Well, let's say Floyd Mayweather. There's Floyd over there. See if you can get in the ring with him and he'll just friendly show you some technique advice. I don't think he's going to do that, Mike Tyson or somebody. And without them just punching your head off. Or even just basketball or something, if you got like LeBron James. It's like, hey, LeBron, can you play like one-on-one with me for a little while? They're not going to do that. But arm wrestling, you definitely have the ability to go and learn from the absolute best guys, and they'll always be nice, friendly, and polite, and kind, and show you how to get better at what you're doing. And that's been my experience anyway. So yes, that's one of the main reasons that I absolutely love this sport. It's you jump on, if it's the very first time arm wrestling, you're probably going to get 1,000 compliments about how strong you are, how good your wrist is. Because we want you to feel very supported and very much that we want you to get involved in it. And so it is one of the things I really, really love about the sport. So Brett Coots there, he's usually an inside puller, but I'm a top roller. And as I said, Lachlan Carpenter in the background there. He came up and he said, "Oh, this is going to be your wet dream here." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I know I've got to put this in context." I said, "You guys are completely wrecked, and I get it. But why not? Why not get on with these guys?" The funny thing with this, so this is Ryan Bond's camera, and it was his footage, and this is several hours into this training that this happened. And I sent him a message later. I said, "Oh, do you think you'd be able to find that bit when I got on the table with these guys?" And then he sent back later and said, "Oh, actually, it wasn't recorded. It run out of battery or something by that point." I was devastated. But then he went, I don't know, the next day or something. He said, "Oh, no, it didn't cut out, and I did get your stuff." And I was like, "Yes." So yes, very, very happy to get this. Even just to be on the table with these guys is a privilege. So you'll see some of these familiar faces at the AWE Grand Prix 2. This is after the AWE Grand Prix 1 tournament that took place in Brisbane. That's Lachlan Adair in the background there. This is actually his shed. See if I can find a match for you guys to have a look at, because it's definitely worth highlighting some of the guys in the club. And what have we got here? Berserker and the Viking. That was fun match. Yeah. I'm just deciding here, ladies and gentlemen, about... Okay, I think this was probably the one I'd like to see, because it's a lot of fun. I don't know why my YouTube needs to be refreshed every time, but that's okay. We'll do it this way. So we decided to have a hook-only match, and my skill is being able to catch people in my bicep is very, very... It has a lot of endurance, and so people get me near the pad, but they don't go any further, as you can see here. And it seems to be that they get exhausted over time, and that's usually how I'll get a lot of my wins, is just by outworking or vampiring people of their energy. And I was so close to getting the pin here, and credit to Lass for holding on to this. It was I could see his arm hair touching the pad, but it wasn't quite beneath the pad there. And then he started surging. I brought my arm back up, but wasn't able to get in a position to be able to hold him. So yeah, that was the first one to Lass Botha, the Berserker. I think it was his first of 3. Although the funny thing is, it was supposed to be a hook-only match, and he did end up pressing a couple of times. So I know that I can't drive through here, because he's strong enough and he has enough energy to be able to catch what I'm doing. As I said, I'm a top roller, so my hook is not my specialty. I'm definitely good in defensively as a hook, but my offensive hook is lacking in, definitely compared to my top roller. And you can see here, he's changed to a press, even though I still caught it, and I've caught it again. And I've tried to hit through here, try to get him out of alignment with his shoulder. And then he's come through with another press. It's supposed to be a hook-only match, less. I didn't care. I thought it was fun. It was as long as it's entertaining and fun, that's all I care about. Unless actually putting his bum up on the table there. And we're sort of stuck in this position here. I'm waiting for him to attack, because I know I can't attack at that point. If I do, it's not going to go anywhere. I just need him to get a little bit more tired. So he hits hard, I catch it. He's taking deep breaths, but then presses through, and I wasn't able to catch that one. So well done to Les Porto getting the win in the hook war. The hook war. By winning with 2 presses. But yes, a lot of fun. I think we're going to be repeating that at some point. And there's $20 on the line. Anyway, so I might finish up here soon, guys. If you have any questions or anything that any comments or anything that you want me to cover, let me know. But I'll probably go for another 2 minutes and run off and get things sorted for the afternoon. But it's great to have so many people having jumped into the chat and that really makes these streams worthwhile for me. Otherwise, it would be me just talking to myself. And every time somebody writes a comment, it allows me to go on their whatever they've said and go on a bit of a talking point about that and have a bit of a conversation with you guys. So if there's any last minute comments or anything, any final thoughts that you guys want to write in there before I finish this up. But apart from that, it will be looking forward very much to Knuckles Up 4, which will be taking place on September the 14th. There is 2 prominent Australians pulling on that card, and that is Ryan Bowen in the main event against Andrei Sharkovich, and Mario Tambakis will be on the card as well against Plumman. And you'll also see Madawarengi Hedamoris from New Zealand. He will be on the card as well. So yes, but there is some absolute stellar matchups on that card. I cannot wait to see that. Craig Tullier versus James Wall will be that's probably the one I'm the most excited about seeing. I don't know how that's going to go. Craig Tullier is looking like so ridiculously strong, but I know how good of an arm wrestler James Wall is, and that match has probably got the biggest question mark over the top of me as to who's going to get the win there. So, but okay, we'll might finish this up here, guys. But thank you again to everybody. We'll give you a nice big double biceps to finish it off. Make sure you can see it. There's one. Oh, and there's 2. Have a look at the bicep splits coming in. I am very happy about that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, no, it's the other one. It's mirrored. Da-da-da-da. That's worth the price of admission right there. All right. Thanks, everybody.